Welcome to Wanted Down Under, the show that catapults a British family right across to the other side of the world to help them make the biggest decision of their life, whether to stay in the UK or to move to Australia. The Boyd family from Ayrshire have been agonising over a move to Australia for many years.
A lot of people just think, oh, it's simple, just pack up and just move off somewhere nicer than where you live, but it's not that easy.
For 10 years you kept saying to me, let's move abroad, let's move abroad, let's move abroad. When I eventually decided to say, oh, OK, we'll give it a shot, then you change your mind and say, do you know, actually, no.
They struggle to find the property of their dreams.
I've got an image in my head of what I'm looking for, and this just isn't it.
And Naomi gets very upset at the thought of leaving loved ones she may never see again.
It hits me the most about my nana, to be honest with you, because, as I say, I don't think I'll see her, so sorry, I keep crying.
With its sun, sea and surf, it's easy to see why many people dream of a new life in Australia. For people under 45 with a skill in demand, it could be a realistic option to make the move. But if you've never even set foot down under, it's a massive challenge. We've given another British family the opportunity to spend a week down under to see if it's all they've dreamt it would be. After that, they'll have to make a decision, one way or the other, to stay in the UK or to move to Australia. James and Naomi Boyd and sons Kieran and Dylan live in Ayrshire and have spent many years considering a move to Australia.
Actually, initially my idea, like I say, I'm the one that's always kind of fancied doing a shift abroad.
It took James 10 years to persuade me to actually want to go, but since last year I've really pushed for it now, and it's me who's leading force, really.
We don't always have a great quality of life here.
The neighbourhood in Stevenson has seen some changes over the last few years, and that worries the Boyds.
The area that we live in used to be a really good area, it did. It was a fantastic place. Over, though, I'd say the past 10 to 15 years, it has just declined. Now it's a knife culture and a drug culture.
The police have started patrolling the areas a lot more now, but it doesn't cut it down altogether. We get a lot of sort of yobs coming by and kicking away at the coping stones in our walls. People coming up, hitting our doors with half bricks, what have you, big stones. Again, it's dangerous, we don't want it, we want away.
There's nowhere really you can take the kids which is safe anymore. My fear is staying here, my kids are eventually going to become either a victim of it or one of them, and I don't want my kids to become another statistic, so I don't want to be here to let that happen.
So the Boyds are facing a potentially life-changing decision whether to move to the other side of the world. But what will they be looking for when they get there?
You know, I don't know if we're living in cloud cuckoo land just now, but we'll be looking at a nice big house, 4 bedrooms.
I want my dream house. So I want a 4-bedroom detached house with 2 bathrooms. I'd like a driveway, preferably a garage and a swimming pool at the back door. I don't ask for much.
I would ideally like a pool, but it's not going to be a necessity. But I think for Kieran, that's something that he's really going to want, and it's going to be a big sweetener. The
house what we buy is the house I see myself growing old in. I don't want to have to move again. I've moved enough. That's what I want. I'll settle for nothing less.
The Boyds have serious financial worries. James works part-time while looking after the children. Naomi, a mental health nurse, is the main breadwinner. But will there be any work for her in Australia?
There is a lot of opportunities for mental health nurses, particularly in some of their state hospitals where they have. One of my biggest fears, though, is over there they have completely different legislation. They've got a different style of nursing over there, so it's quite scary to think I'm going to be like starting from fresh.
Once we've found somewhere to live, I would like to spend a wee bit of time getting our house sorted out, spend a bit of time with the kids and make sure that we get them settled before I start looking properly into my career again, I think.
At the moment we are like ships in the night. I do 12-hour shifts, James is 8-hour shifts, but his is a lot of back shifts. He doesn't come in until 10 o'clock at night. If I'm working the next day, I tend to be going up to my bed at that time, so we don't see a great deal of each other.
When they do have the time to get together, the whole family is just a stone's throw away, which gives James the chance to show off his culinary skills.
I can't even see you now.
James can't barbecue at all. He's got it into his head. We'll go over there, you know, we'll get into this great neighbourhood and we'll be having barbecues all the time. I don't really see that happening because he can't really even light a barbecue.
Leaving his friends and family behind is going to be very tough for James.
We see one another pretty much daily. All round this area, there's family dotted on both our sides, but more so mine. I'm going to maybe find myself a wee bit lonely on the other side once we're all settled. I think it is going to be hard.
But for Naomi, there's a very special person she may have to say goodbye to.
The biggest person who I'm going to miss is definitely going to be my nana. She raised me up until my dad remarried. She brought me up, she made me the person I am today. And she doesn't keep very well, she's in her 80s now. And if we go to Australia, I probably won't get to see her again because she would never be able to make that flight. She wouldn't be able to do the journey. And I don't know when we would first be able to get back here. And if something happened to her, then I'm the other side of the world. That's hard. Sorry.
I wonder, like I say, I've got my doubts kicking in, but I'm just wondering, have I done the right thing by trying to talk Naomi into this? Because I see how upset she gets, and that obviously this upsets me, it's my wife. So on top of my own stuff, there's this.
Darwin, capital of the Northern Territory, is the region's most populated city and one of the fastest growing in Australia. With an average annual temperature of 32 degrees centigrade, Darwin is an attractive destination for Britons looking for sun and a warmer climate, so it should be ideal for the Boyds. We found 3 possible lifestyles for the Boyds, each one offering a brand new way of life for them to try on their budget. But which one will be the most suitable? The Boyds should find life in the city easy to settle into. There are hospitals nearby, so Naomi wouldn't have far to commute to work. She could earn up to £60,000. However, the cost of living could be a problem. With a budget of just under £200,000, an apartment in the city like this would be a stretch. So, very different from their life in the UK. But what about the second option? Life on the coast would provide the Boyds with beautiful parks, a relaxing atmosphere and excellent views. It's only 15 minutes from the city centre, so Naomi would have a short commute to work. Property is expensive though. This 4-bedroom home would cost you up to £416,000, beyond the family's reach on one income. But what about the third option? A more countrified and peaceful lifestyle can be found in the outer suburbs of Darwin, just a short drive from the rural outback. Property isn't much cheaper out here. This 5-bedroom home could set the Boyds back up to £338,000. Shops and schools are close by, but Naomi would face a much longer commute to work. 3 very different possibilities for the Boyds to try. But which one did we decide would suit them best? We chose to send the Boyds to sample life in the city for their trial week, close to Naomi's potential work as a mental health nurse and with lots to do for James and the children. It will give the family a good base from which to explore all Darwin has to offer. So, what will it be? Stay in the UK or move to Australia? After a 10,000-mile flight, the Boyds arrive on the other side of the world a little tired.
That was an experience and a half.
Knackered.
That was a long journey, but Hopefully it'll be well worth it anyway. So they've done good because it's a long way.
We just kept feeding them. Just gave them tons of food and they were fine.
I was just saying to Naomi that would take something if we were going to be making visits back and forward every year to the UK. That would take its toll. That would.
Feeling exhausted after their mammoth trip, the tiredness is beginning to show on James.
Are you helping? Stack them on top of each other.
For me, nothing wants to work.
If you stack two at a time, talking.
Turn them on the side.
Just give me a minute.
On the side. Is it not a big boot?
No, these ones in first.
See lonely. Daddy's knackered, look.
Finally.
After a rather faulty start to their week in Australia, the Boyd family head off to the flat they'll be staying in, right in the heart of the city centre. It's a very convenient base from which to explore all that Darwin has to offer.
Come on. There you go. Go.
Have a good look. Oh, this is nice.
Wow,
It's huge, isn't it?
it's not half. That's the size of the living room.
Look at the TV.
It was a TV that caught my imagination as well. Look at a big balcony as well.
It said small from outside.
It does, it look teeny outside, doesn't it? Oh, I could see me quite happy here, eh? Right here. Beer in hand. I didn't expect this. Ensuite bathroom.
It's like a maze, isn't it? Look, 2 sinks. We get our own sink. It's really big and spacious, isn't it?
Deceivingly big. I like this.
3 beds, you'd get a choice of beds.
There's another bedroom.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like a maze.
I didn't know there was another bedroom, but...
Here's a Hoover.
Yeah, your daddy will be pleased you can move on.
This is gorgeous.
So the kids can be playing and I can be making dinner and I can still supervise them.
This is it.
As the initial excitement wears off, the reality of just how far away from home they are begins to sink in.
That final flight from Singapore to Darwin was just...
That was when it
That was when it kind of hit home. Oh my God, this has been a long
journey.
time. It's really, you know, you realise how tiring it is. I mean, I'd like to think that most people would come out every couple of years to see us, but they might just be like, no.
Well, I mean, certainly
We're doing that journey.
parents are going to come out to see us to start off with, but like you say, it's just, are they going to want to maintain this?
Yeah, but they do it the first time and then be like, do you know, I'm done. Is it worth the hassle and just wait for us to go over to the UK?
In the UK, James and Naomi live in Stevenson near Glasgow. They bought their house 3 years ago for just under £100,000, but they know they'll have to borrow more for their dream house in Australia. The first property they're going to see is in Brinkin, a suburb in the north of Darwin. It would be a 20-minute commute to the city centre and the hospitals where Naomi could find work, but does boast being just a short stroll from the beach. The property is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom duplex with a small courtyard to the rear. It's for sale for around £185,000, so just within their expected budget. But will it be up their street?
It's the open plan what I wanted.
I'm the same. I like the whole living room, kitchen area.
I like the
open
size,
plan.
yeah, but I think I kind of envisioned just a slightly bigger. See if the dining area was just a bit bigger.
The kind of living dining area could be doing, we've been a wee bit bigger, you know, bit of a bigger space for us to sit and eat, and then a living space.
See, I suppose from this angle it looks a bit bigger, doesn't it? That's a good size bathroom.
It is actually a pretty good size, but again...
I would need a new bathroom suite put in. So this would be your bedroom, yours and Dylan's probably.
This is a fair old size of a bedroom.
Do you think?
I do, huh?
It's a good size room, for one child, but no for 2 children.
The thing is, I'm just saying I think it's a pretty good size room.
Oh no. Oh, Dylan. It's your child you deal with.
That's over the master bedroom then, eh? It is smaller than what we've got back home, but ours is a lot bigger.
Definitely. It's a completely different setup and floor plan, but bigger. I'd want another bedroom. No, actually, I'd want another 2 bedrooms.
That's just not going to be for us.
No, definitely not. Would you, Hank? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Well, they seem positive about that. Perhaps a garden may sway them.
What's your thoughts on this one?
I'd like a wee bit bigger, because I'm just saying I want this, I want that. I'm sounding so demanding.
You want it a bit bigger?
You're having to come out the bedroom basically to get out into the back door. That means as well, if you had people over for a barbecue, you'd all be traipsing through the bedroom.
Well, there is
Which
that.
I don't like the idea of that. Ideally, we want to get a pool eventually, so...
Well, I was honestly, took the words out of my mouth. I would want a space to be putting a nice swimming pool.
Eventually get a pool. That's the kind of dream, so to speak, isn't it?
I imagined all the Australian houses to be really big, and it's a bit of a shock that it is this small. As I say, it's nice, but a lot smaller than I imagined it would be.
Yeah, I think I've got an image in my head of what I'm looking for, and this just isn't it.
Yes, I guess Dylan just about sums up their feelings about this house. And with just 2 bedrooms, it's not going to be big enough for the whole family.
I don't want to move over here and have something I'm not going to be completely happy with. If you're going to move to the opposite side of the world, no point in doing it all by half. I don't see the point in coming over here if we're not going to be able to get that dream life. And the dream house has got to be part of that, so very important.
But they do have a tight budget, and it seems it's going to be a lot harder to find the property of their dreams. With this in mind, our second house is in Durack. Located in the satellite town of Palmerston, but only 13 miles from Darwin Centre, it would be a short commute for Naomi. The house is set on a golf course estate and has a park right opposite. It has 3 bedrooms, so it's a little more expensive at just over £200,000.
Do you like this, Kieran?
Yeah.
This is
It's
nice,
really,
isn't
really
it?
nice, isn't it? Oh,
And in here as well, look.
hey, it's an ensuite, eh? Oh, look at this.
That's just an ideal wee size.
It is
for
just
an
a nice-
ensuite.
it is,
That's
isn't
all
it?
you need.
And this is something, you know, obviously I've always wanted, was
An ensuite.
an ensuite.
Oh, it's a good size, isn't it?
That is a good size.
I would put in a
I was going to say,
door.
I would maybe put a door in.
It's more homely. You could imagine
It's
yourself
really, it's
living
nice.
here.
This is ideal.
I like this.
Perhaps things are looking up. Naomi seems to quite like this house, and they've only seen 1 bedroom.
I know where we go, it's been made into a wee study.
A wee study.
It's small, but I mean, I'm assuming that's why maybe
As a
getting
study,
used as a
it's the
study.
purpose of a study.
Aye,
I
aye,
mean,
this
it's
is
ideal.
absolutely ideal.
But then don't get me wrong, looking at the size of this, it's probably the size of his bedroom.
Right, we'll take a wee down in here, Kieran.
It's got everything you need, and there's the double wardrobe as well.
A bath in here.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at this.
Here's the bath.
Just an
Oh,
actual...
see, that's a nice space. Let's see. Nice.
This is exactly what I've been talking about. I like this. A wee bit of kind of serving area as well, but...
Serving area. What do you think you're married to?
James seems to be getting a bit carried away by the thought of a new lifestyle.
Oh, this is a garden, isn't it? I like
It's a
this.
fish, is this?
This is really, really smart, isn't it?
And it is really well done, and oh, it's just minimal.
Look at this.
Oh, James, look.
This is just an added bonus.
I
Look
could
at
move
that.
in here, no bother.
Look,
Kieran, what do you think of this?
special pool. A wee tub.
Okay, it's not a pool, but if you kind of get a pool, it's the next best.
It's the next best thing to a pool, isn't it?
Yeah. It's perfect.
There's a big barbecue and space over there as well. And again,
And this barbecue. Oh.
this is part of it.
I think it's more the image of the barbecue what you like.
No.
I mean, look at the size of that. Why would you need a barbecue that big? For 4 people?
It must be a boy thing, but this house does offer a huge amount, and it's in a great location with the school nearby and the park right opposite.
What do you think about having a park across the road?
Aye,
That's good, isn't it?
That good?
That's really good. We don't
You
have
can
anything
even
like
watch me from the front door.
that. Exactly. Aye, I could see myself living here.
Aye, I could picture us here. I could picture us quite happily being here.
Although I really want to do this, it's going to take a special house to kind of tempt me, I think, and I think...
Aye, that's what I've said. I think there's no point in doing it if we're not going to get
That's
the
it.
full package. The house
That's
has
it.
got to be an important part of it, and this...
It's just that the whole area just looks so safe and secure and, like you say, peaceful, quiet.
Well, that's a turn up for the books. They both seem to agree that this could be the perfect house.
I've just got my doubts about the size of the bedrooms, and that's all. That study is a bit small, and I have always said ideally I want the kids to have a bedroom each. I just think, see, when they get older, they're going to want a bedroom each. Otherwise, they're going to fight and they're going to batter each other. They will, you know they will. Also, to put relatives when they come and stay. That's where you're going to put them.
See, I've no thought into much about if people come to
See,
visit,
I do think of that. It's got potential, and it's given me an idea of probably what we could maybe try and look around for. In this kind of area, there's possibly going to be slightly bigger houses, so we could probably look about and get something a bit bigger.
And I thought we had it in the bag with that one. What worries me is that Naomi has set her sights a little too high and is going to really struggle on their budget. Not giving up, our third property is in the same fantastic area of Palmerston, so the same commute for Naomi. This property is an unusual tropical elevated home with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms upstairs and an extra 4th bedroom downstairs. But at around £270,000 it would be outside their budget. It may have to be the home they aspire to unless they both work full time to pay for it.
What do you think?
This boy. Wow.
That's gorgeous, isn't it?
Aye, I could see myself living here.
Tiny bother. This is the kind of size I was hoping for. It's definitely
Huge.
The kitchen's lovely, isn't it? It's quite a big kitchen. I'm no particularly keen on this kind of breakfast bar.
I think this is great again. I mean, you've got your full workspace here and in a great wee area for serving and for breakfast.
I didn't want a house which was up in the air, so to speak, or in a kind of upstairs, downstairs house. For me, what I'm really looking for is a all-in-one floor, like a bungalow type house. It's not the image I've had of my dream house. It's not. I know I'm just really too fussy. I just want somewhere which is homely and I can put my own... This is too... I want to say posh, but that makes me sound really common.
This house is my cup of tea. This is what I sort of imagined an Aussie-style house to be. Aye, this is my kind of house.
I would feel like I was one of the people who'd have to have my hair done and my makeup done and be all dressed up to live in a house like this. Can you slob about? Or I would just know me.
Do you think so? But I mean,
They don't seem to agree on anything. Naomi's making a decision before seeing what the property has to offer. Let's hope the rest of the house persuades her. Otherwise, they may be put off living in Australia at the first hurdle.
oh, look at this.
That was cool.
Oh, holy God. Check this.
Are we on 3?
Wow.
It's a nice big room as well, isn't it? Eh? Should fit your
think this
double
would
bed
be,
in
yeah.
here, no bother.
It's another great big bedroom, isn't it?
They're all good sized rooms, aren't they?
Yeah. This is just fantastic. Look at the size of that pool. Come on, this is something you says that you really wanted, was a great big pool. I mean, look at that, boy. That not be good?
Aye, that would be good.
I think I would like that as well.
I just think I would prefer to be down on the ground.
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's sold to you then, I take it. Look,
How much do I want this house even more now?
I know.
Music in here. We could have all my freezing cold beers in here. Some wine up there. Get some juices in for you and Dylan. What?
So you like it then, eh?
I do. You couldn't even dream this house up.
James has been truly struck by this house, although Naomi seems a long way to being convinced. But there are surprises around every corner.
The guest bedroom.
So there you go. We would have the bedroom for ourselves, a bedroom for each of the boys, and we would have the guest bedroom for whoever
They'd
wanted
have
to come and stay here
space.
overnight, or whoever wanted to come on holiday if we were to move here. This would just be perfect.
It's actually quite deep, that pool, isn't it?
So at last, a house that provides all that the Boyds are after. Open plan living, 4 bedrooms, a swimming pool, oh yes, and a bar. But is it enough for Naomi?
It's just not the kind of house I would buy, realistically. I mean, it does tick all the right boxes. It's absolutely stunning, it is. It's just not my kind of house at all. I don't like the fact that it's up on stilts. I want everything to be down on the ground. I want the kids to be able to come out and play and I can supervise them, whereas I don't feel if I was upstairs I wouldn't be able to supervise them down here. And the pool's not blocked off from the grass, so the kids couldn't be out here playing on their own.
I mean, this house would be absolutely ideal for me. This has got everything in it that I could ever want. It's a nice, big, modern house. Who's not going to want a swimming pool like this and a working bar right next to it? I mean, this is just everything I imagined in a house.
The Boyds have seen 3 very different types of houses. Property 1 was in the northern suburb of Brinkin. It had only 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, but was the cheapest at around £185,000. The second property in the satellite area of Palmerston is in a fabulous setting, right opposite a park and nearby school. This was a larger house with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and at just over £200,000 would be at the top of the Boyds' budget. And at £270,000, slightly over their budget but a home to aspire to, was property 3. Also in the Palmerston district, this property offered everything. 4 bedrooms, open plan living and a swimming pool. But were these enough to sway James and Naomi? Which way will they vote? For property in the UK or property in Australia?
Based on what we've seen today, our vote goes to Australia.
UK.
Australia.
So, UK? Really?
None of them have been outstanding in my eyes. Number 2 would probably be the best house. It was great, but it was still only 3 bedrooms. So I don't see the point in coming away over here just to have exactly what we've got back home.
I think, to be honest, the last one is going to be out of our price range, and it's going to be something we would really need to work hard towards if we wanted to get. But again, I mean, that house was just amazing. We're never going to get a pull at our back door in the UK, and we're never going to have an opportunity like that.
I just don't think the houses were that great.
Naomi's yet to be won over. Later, the Boyds discover the true value of their property back in the UK, and James begins to get cold feet when he discovers the real cost of living in Australia.
No, that's double. That is double here.
Despite James's efforts to persuade Naomi, she remains unimpressed by what she's seen so far. But if they're going to make this move happen, it's Naomi who has to find work. Back in Scotland, Naomi is the main income earner. She's a mental health nurse, and although she enjoys her work in the UK, she's looking to expand her skills and work more in the community. On the other side of the world, it's an early start for Naomi. She's apprehensive about her day's work experience in Darwin's main mental health unit.
I just want a job that is going to challenge me. I want something that's going to keep me on my toes, which is going to allow me to learn every single day. So I'm really quite apprehensive about going in and starting a new job, because it's going to just be like I'm a newly qualified nurse again, starting all from scratch.
We've arranged for Naomi to meet potential employer Managing Director Steve Carrick.
Welcome to the Tamarind Centre. Why don't you come through and I'll show you around?
That's great. Yeah, I think so.
Up to you. So just come through here and I'll show you some of the more common medications that we use. You're probably familiar with this particular medication.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people on that.
Yeah, it's used all around the world. It's one of the newer atypical antipsychotic medications. You'll be very familiar with them when you come out to work here in Australia.
Yeah, well, that makes it a wee bit easier, I suppose.
It does.
As Naomi gets the grand tour, James has taken the opportunity to visit a local playgroup. Naomi would be the main income earner, so he would be the main child carer, at least until the children are settled.
Nice to meet you, I'm James.
I'm Marie, Jane.
Very nice to meet you. Yeah, good, thanks, good. Is it quite often that everyone meets up like this, or...?
We have the playgroup every week, every Friday afternoon.
Right,
so there's playgroups that run all week, any time of the day, whether morning or afternoon.
Right, OK.
But I'll introduce you to a couple of the girls.
Fantastic, thank you.
Bridget, sorry, I'll actually introduce...
Hiya. How you doing? Nice to meet you, I'm James. Hiya.
This is Isaac.
It's a good opportunity for James to find out how the children will handle the Darwin summer.
My big concern's going to be the children and how they're going to cope, is it?
Oh, they'll be fine. It's beautiful. They don't have to wear clothes. The kids are very adaptable. If they can cope with the Scotland winter, surely they can cope with the build-up. It's not that bad.
And as James discovers, there are a lot more benefits to the Darwin climate.
You can book a barbecue
See, that's definitely...
3-4 weeks in advance and invite all your best mates to come, and you can guarantee it's going to be 30 and fine. The sun's going to be out, not raining, you've got a swimming pool, homemade ginger beer, a bar, a hammock.
Everybody's happy. Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Darwin sounds more appealing than ever to James, whilst Naomi's getting the lowdown on the opportunities of working in the city.
So Steve, can you tell me a little bit about the pay which you get over here in Australia for nurses?
Because nurses are very much in demand in Australia, the pay is pretty reasonable. Depending on your experience, you can earn anywhere between $60,000 a year up to $100,000 to $120,000 a year for the more senior nursing positions in administration and management.
So with a salary of between £30,000 and £60,000 and plenty of job opportunities, it looks promising for Naomi. And James has discovered that he's not the only male primary carer.
Exactly the same as where I'm at. I'm a stay-at-home dad. My girlfriend's a full-time nurse. So it's exactly the same. I only work once or twice a week on sunset cruise boats.
So things are looking positive for the Boyds, and young Kieran thinks it's a done deal.
I just seen the look in their faces when they first got into Australia airport. I just knew they were going to move here.
That was actually pretty good. A situation like that is absolutely ideal. Everyone there was really, really chatty and really friendly and helpful. Just great.
With James in such a positive mood, does Naomi feel the same? How will she vote for her job prospects? Will it be the UK or Australia?
Based on the work experience today and meeting Steve and everybody else at the centre, my vote goes to Australia. Their starting salary is better than the salary what I'm on at the moment, and it's better than a lot of the salaries you can get on the NHS, even working your way up. And I don't particularly aim to ever be in managerial side of things. That's not the kind of person I am. I prefer to have patient contact and be down working on the floor, so to speak. So it's great to know what I can get a better salary for doing that.
But all sounds encouraging, but Naomi reveals it's not all rosy in the garden.
James has been quite having a difficult time with it, really, to be honest with you. He was the one who obviously initiated this all them years ago, but it's me who's been pushing lately for us to get over here. Now he's here, I think he's kind of stuck between being really excited and thinking, yeah, this could be a reality, but then every so often he thinks, oh, do you know what about this and what about that? And it's normally me who's got the sensible head, but at the moment it's him who's taken over that. I think it's a bit of a struggle for him at the moment. We've just been so focused on, yeah, we would move over to Australia, and if James changes his mind and says no, he doesn't want to, then I really, honest to God, don't know where that would leave us. I don't.
The Boyd family from Ayrshire have been agonising over a move to Australia for many years.
It took James 10 years to persuade me to actually want to go, but since last year I've really pushed for it now, and it's me who's leading force, really.
Leaving family behind is going to be tough for them both, especially saying goodbye to Naomi's grandmother, possibly for the last time.
She raised me, she brought me up, she made me the person I am today. That's hard. Sorry.
I see how upset she gets, and obviously this upsets me. It's my wife, so on top of my own stuff there's this.
Later they'll come up close to some of Australia's more unusual wildlife.
Can you see him coming?
Oh, look at the size of her.
It's not even grown up yet.
And things get personal as time runs out on making the final decision.
Naomi, to be honest, has this grand plan that I'm going to be a permanent live-at-home husband if we can get away with it financially.
If this is going to be the best thing for the family, then you have to make a couple of sacrifices.
It's just not going to happen.
So far, money has played a large part in much of James's and Naomi's decision-making. Is this move something they could afford to do in the first place? It's time for a reality check. In the UK, the Boyds own a 3-bedroom property on the west coast of Scotland near Glasgow. It went on the market for £115,000 some time ago, but it hasn't sold. We sent 2 estate agents round to find out what it's worth now in the current climate. So this film they're about to watch could be crucial if their Australian dream is to come true.
Looks so dreary. A broken brick.
I was going to say.
A vandalised wall.
Good sized lounge. Front and rear facing, that's good. Plenty of light. Good room.
It has everything that a family needs.
Patio doors to rear, that's good. And enough space for dining table.
It's very serious, isn't it?
It is.
Good sized double bedroom.
Don't open the cupboard.
Oh gosh, she is getting in the cupboard.
Good storage. Good size second bedroom. Bathroom's okay size, not too bad.
What do you mean
Slightly
okay?
dated. But yeah, it's okay.
Okay size, it's an extended bathroom. It's bigger than an average size bathroom.
I think the property's well proportioned. It's in good condition, good selling order. The only problem I would say would be that there are quite a few similar properties on the marketplace just now. 85 should be a quick sale price. 90, I think it stands a good chance to achieve that price.
It's ideal for a first-time buyer or a young family. If we're looking to move this one on very quickly, then 85,000 would be a very realistic price.
No, no way. No. You wouldn't have said that a year ago.
A year ago, our property would have sold for £115,000.
So.
And fair dues, it is recession and.
But £30,000 a drop?
Yeah.
Not a chance.
No. As I say, you look on any of the internet sites at the moment selling houses, and there is houses in the same town in areas where you would need pay your worst enemy to live in, going for 95 to £100,000. So 85, no, I would say 90. Quite honestly, I would be looking for at least 90,000 for the house.
I would want at least 90.
We bought it for more than that, so we're going to lose on it as it is. So
we're already losing all our equity.
After that crushing news, James and Naomi are going to have to do some serious sums to see if the move to Australia is possible at all.
We can work out and see if it's feasible just on your wage.
Just on my wage at the moment, and then we can add in yours to see.
If we need that at the end.
See, I've got something in my head that's around about 200.
No.
Maybe just.
No.
I don't know.
This is working out.
That's expensive.
Almost twice as much as we pay back.
That's expensive as well, because look, your insurance.
It's not that. It's something that we've never really thought much into.
That's a lot of tax to pay.
It's a lot of tax, £10,000 a year.
Which means my money is going to be less than I initially thought.
No, so it's double. It is double here.
But double what I'm paying at the moment.
And that's before private medical.
So we're £650 a month at the moment for our mortgage back home. So that would be looking at £1,000 a month for our mortgage.
So we're £350 worse off then.
Yeah, which isn't great, but there you go.
James appears to be over-concerned about tax in Australia, as it would be about 17.8%, pretty similar to the UK. And there's also something else he's unhappy with.
I'm only going to be wanting to do this for a wee while until I settled. I want to get back to work full time.
See, I don't want you to.
I think I would eventually go mad if I was a stay-at-home dad constant. I think I would need to work.
And maybe this is where I'm kind of dreaming, I suppose. To me, looking at that, it's still a reality. Granted, it's going to be hard and it's going to be a struggle at times, and there's probably times when we'll just go, oh, why did we do this? But we could make it work. We could.
I'm just shocked. I honestly didn't expect this.
To me, it's a risk worth taking if at the end of the day we get to live over here.
James and Naomi have had a real eye-opener, discovering the true costs of a move down under. So, with plenty to think about, how will they vote?
So after looking at the facts and figures and the cost of things in Australia and the cost of living, our vote is...
UK.
Australia. Can you say that?
James is obviously very worried about the financial implications of a move to Australia. He's frustrated about Naomi's plan to be the main breadwinner.
Naomi, to be honest, has this grand plan that I'm going to be a permanent live-at-home husband if we can get away with it financially, and it's just not going to happen.
I don't see any point in making a big, huge change, coming halfway across the world, basically, to just have the same life where me and James are working opposite shifts. We don't see the kids. Kids are a childminder. I don't want to do that.
Naomi would love that. She would love me to be there, to constantly see to the kids and have the meals ready, and she knows that I'm a clean freak, so she knows the house would always be sitting spotless, but it's just not going to happen that way at all. It couldn't happen that way.
Well, they're at loggerheads with each other, and James appears to be struggling.
It is going to be hard for him, and I've said this to him umpteen times now. I think he's going to find it a lot harder than he thinks he is. He puts on this brave face and says, you know, no, he'll be fine, he'll be okay. Once we get out there, this is what he really wants. But I do think he's going to struggle with it, and I think possibly he's going to find it the hardest out of us all.
I didn't do a great deal of sleeping last night for worrying about this, because I've only told Naomi so far I'm upset at things being a lot more expensive than I thought they were initially. She doesn't know I'm having major doubts yet. She knows I'm on the fence, but I don't think she realises how much this has really shocked me. This scares me, because I've instigated it and I've built everybody's hopes up, and I might shatter the lot.
It'll be difficult, but the way I see it is, if this is going to be the best thing for the family, then you have to make a couple of sacrifices.
We're going to have to sit down and have a big talk about it. I think there's going to be shocks to come, to be honest.
It's difficult for James, not knowing which way to turn. So we've taken them away from the city for the day to give them a different perspective on Darwin and get up close and personal with the local wildlife.
Right, we're going to look in here.
See what it is.
Right.
Oh.
Ooh, look at that, boy. What's that? A snake.
Look, her name's Blondie, and she's an albino carpet python. She's probably about 2 metres long, and she's been with us since, I think, 1994. Would you like to put it around your shoulders? She's been held by many people.
On you go. Dylan had it.
Be brave.
And you're way too big to be eaten, so you're safe. So put a hand under there.
Oh, it's dead heavy.
It's dead heavy, that's the problem.
About 4 or 5 kilos.
What kind of snakes is it what you get in this area then?
There's been a couple of death adders found on park. And there's even a taipan found dead on the road, just probably 2 kilometres from here recently as well. So look, there are highly venomous snakes, but most do tend to be sort of non-venomous ones that we see.
Do you have to look out for them?
People tend to get bitten when walking around at night without a torch, because a lot of snakes in this area are nocturnal. Always carry a torch just to be careful.
The Boyd family are completely at ease with the Northern Territory's wildlife and obviously would settle in well. There's nothing that would put them off.
And here's our next species. This is a sort of barking spider. A creature that a lot of people have irrational fears of, I think, spiders.
I can see why.
Would you find this kind of like running about in a house?
Look, they have been known to turn up. Look, in the wet season, they'll wander a bit further afield, and they do turn up in people's houses. So.
They do?
Is that just the amount it could eat me through the container?
No, it can't. You're totally safe. You look at it.
Oh, I don't want to.
It's a wonderful creature.
This particular spider's non-venomous then?
No, look, all spiders are venomous. As far as I know, there's no records of human fatality, so yes, I don't think you're going to die from the bite, but you could get quite sick.
No, you know.
I honestly don't know how I would react if I found a big spider in the house. I would move out. I would have to. I couldn't deal with it.
And it was all going so well. It seems like we found the Boyd's Achilles heel. How will they fare when they go paddling with another one of Australia's potentially dangerous creatures?
Big step in and wiggle your toes into the sand. All right.
Baby.
Lots of fish will come up to you. Don't be frightened of them. They're fine. Just start splashing the water a little bit up there.
Yeah, sure.
Can you see him coming? Come on.
Oh, look at the size of it.
Now this is what we call a whip ray. This is only a baby. It's not even grown up yet. Come on.
Yes, it's a real thing. This is just a baby.
This ray is only found in Northern Australia. Do you want to grab this fish?
There you go.
Just slip it under the nose here. Slip it under the nose. That's a good lad. Okay, you're ready with the fish under the nose, and you can all give him a pat while he's there.
It's like sandpaper.
God, it's weird, isn't it? Would this only perhaps come at you with its barb if you were to touch it, or if it felt threatened, or...?
Only if it was in fear of its life. You get freshwater sharks here in Northern Australia, saltwater crocodiles as well as freshwater crocodiles. They really need to be able to defend themselves, and that's why they've got that barb in the tail. because they're rather like a very large scallop swimming around out there otherwise. The crocodiles and sharks just love them.
So, having met some of the more unusual locals, has it opened their eyes as to how very different life would be in Australia?
Based on the lifestyle and what we've experienced in Darwin, our vote goes to Australia.
Australia.
Australian.
Look at the place, it's gorgeous. It's got so much more than what we've got back home. Getting to spend more family time and doing things rather than being stuck indoors, it's great.
For Naomi and James, starting a new life far away from their friends and loved ones will be extremely hard. So we've arranged for them to meet up with a local Darwin family, and it'll give James the chance to brush up on his barbecuing skills.
Hi. Hiya, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hi.
It's not long before the boys are put to work.
Sausage.
You want a sausage? Well, we'll go and start up the barbecue then.
I have a barbecue.
You want a barbecue, do you? Well, look, there we go.
So how often do you cook barbies at home?
This isn't something we get to do very often at all. Actually, terrible at them. Terrible.
You've got to be good at barbies in now.
Yeah.
I think every home owns a barbie, that's for sure. This is where we should be having a beer though. If you're in Darwin, you've got a beer.
Yes. You seem to be pretty good at this. Take a bit of practice too.
Nearly have the barbie going every night actually. Yeah. Probably 4 times a week.
I get maybe a couple of burgers and a sausages in it and it just goes horribly wrong and they're just burnt black and it's just an absolute disaster.
At last, James learns from a real Aussie Barbie expert, and Naomi gets a chance to grill her new friends about local schools.
What are the schools like in this kind of area? Would you like us to just suggest maybe trying to choose a smaller school?
Because it is such a transient population in a lot of respects too, and as you've discovered, so many people have moved up here. The kids are used to new kids that coming to the school and just a new kid for the group, you know. So
see that, I mean, that is another way. It's making sure that we choose the right area. If we do move here, that we choose the right area with the right school rather than choosing somewhere and it ends up it's a school which just doesn't suit Kieran at all.
That's it. Thumbs up.
No, I'll get.
Right, okay. So which sausages did you cook so I know which ones to avoid?
Can I tell you that?
The children have made new friends too, and Naomi is relieved of any fears she had about Kieran and Dylan fitting in.
I mean, that was brilliant to see him playing with the kids. He got on absolutely fantastic with them. Coming out here, I'm hoping it would give me the opportunity to get a better life and make a good group of friends where he could go out and spend time with. So that's kind of reassured me what, he possibly could adapt.
After spending a day getting some much-needed Barbie practice with the locals, how easy do the boys think making friends will be if they were to make that massive move to Australia?
Based on the barbecue and the great people that we've met today, our vote goes to Australia.
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 As the end of the week approaches, it seems James's fear of making the move down under may have gone. But will hearing messages from loved ones back home in the UK remind the boys of what they'll be leaving behind?
Hi Naomi. Hi James.
Hello, Naomi and James. James is a great boy. We've never had a minute's worry with him.
If you ever need a favour or anything like that, he's always there for you.
He's a brilliant father. Family orientated too.
He's a really thoughtful guy.
He goes and helps anybody and everybody.
Nothing's ever too much for him.
Naomi, she's a lovely girl. When I got her at first, if she got in the tantrum, she'd stand there and stamp her feet. So I would stamp my feet and say, I can do that as well, Naomi. And she was fine.
Very cheeky, very sarcastic humour, but just so endearing that you can't help but like her. Because she's always got good, solid, honest advice, and I think I'll really miss her if she's not here when I have my baby.
I don't want to start crying. Well, when she said it would be a better life, I was agreeable with that. I think it's the right thing to do. Cliff said to me, well, you have to save your money, we'll go and see her. But I don't know whether I'll be able to or not.
I've got very mixed emotions, to be honest. On the one hand, I think it'll be a great new life for them, and I'd never do anything to hold them back. But at the same time, I know I'm going to miss them.
Part of me wants to say yes, the other part no, because we'll miss them. Sorry. But for them, I think it's the right thing.
Remember, we're always here for you. Whatever you decide, it's down to you, so put that flag whatever way you want it to go.
I do miss you. I've thought about this one for a long, long time. I've sat everywhere thinking about this. I'm missing you big time, Kieran and Dylan.
I hope you like Australia, and if you do, I wouldn't be happy to lose you, but I'll be glad if it's going to be a different life for you. So, I'll miss you, but you keep in touch now.
You know that we're going to miss you all, but we wish you all the best. And we know whatever decision you make is going to be the right one for you. We love you all.
That hard.
My mum and my dad are usually a bit of a closed book, and to see them upset like that, it's not something I'll see often. I don't think seeing people upset would stop me going, because I think in their heart of hearts they would want us to come here.
I don't want any of them getting upset over this. I suppose it's unavoidable.
It's pretty harsh seeing your family like that and your loved ones, and they're giving you these positive messages, you know, they want you to better your life and better the life of the kids, but you know, in the same respect, you're hurting them. My dad, he's always been a friend to me as well as a dad.
It hits me the most about my nana, to be honest with you, because as I say, I don't think I'll see her, so I'm sorry, I keep crying.
Upset.
Emotions were already running high between James and Naomi. And seeing friends and family back home has really brought things to a head. As their week in Darwin comes to a close, it seems making a decision about a life-changing move to Australia has become harder than ever. After a marathon flight to the other side of the world,
that was an experience and a half.
It becomes apparent that James and Naomi want two very different things.
This house is my cup of tea. Aye, this is my kind of house.
It's not the image I've had of my dream house. This is too, I want to say posh, but that makes me sound really common.
The tension mounts as cracks appear in their relationship.
To me, looking at that, it's still a reality. Granted, it's going to be hard, but we could make it work.
I'm just shocked. I honestly didn't expect this.
There are no easy options for the Boyds. Whatever they choose is going to be tough.
The way I see it is, if this is going to be the best thing for the family, then you have to make a couple of sacrifices.
It scares me because I've instigated it and I've built everybody's hopes up, and I might shatter the lot.
As time for the final deadline approaches, Naomi has a moment to reflect on the challenges of the last few days.
James has been so hard to read. I thought I knew what was going on in his head. Obviously, I've not got a clue. I really couldn't say which way he's going to vote at the moment.
The place hasn't failed to disappoint. It's gorgeous. The life outside our working commitments looks absolutely fantastic, and everything that I could have imagined for myself and my family, it just looks terrific.
It's the hardest decision we've ever had to make in our lives, it is. We're talking about uprooting the kids away from their families, from their friends, from the school, from everything they know. This is such a hard decision.
What about Kieran? What are his feelings about his week in Darwin?
I won't get to see my friends ever again, but I'll make new friends for sure. I made 2 friends as soon as I got to a barbecue. That's pretty good.
And it's dawning on James what a life-changing decision he's got to make for his family.
I've had a couple of sleepless nights while I've been here, trying to make up my mind and not just think about myself and be selfish, but try and think about my family as well. And to be honest, until it's time to turn that card, I don't think I even know.
So which way will the Boyds vote? To stay in the UK or up sticks and move to the other side of the world?
Well, we've been in Australia for a week now. We've got to experience the lifestyle, jobs, houses and everything. So based on that, our vote goes to Australia.
Australia.
UK.
I think we should start a We Hate Daddy club, what do you think?
Yeah, maybe we should.
I didn't know how to say to use it. This is what I was kind of leaning towards now, but I
So
think...
what's your reasons for it?
I really don't know we could come here and comfortably live.
I just think we've come this far. We'd be absolutely stupid and we'd always regret it if we didn't try it.
I just don't know that at this exact time we could afford to come here.
I'm definitely not staying where I live at all, so either way we will be moving away from there.
Oh no, James has struggled all week to make this huge decision, but I don't think he's pleased Naomi.
I'm sure Naomi's going to mind me telling you this, and she doesn't know that I'm about it, but that wasn't the most comfortable car journey back there since I made my decision.
I've got to say, in my defence though, for 10 years you kept saying to me, let's move abroad, let's move abroad, let's move abroad. When I eventually decided to say, oh okay, we'll give it a shot, then you change your mind and say, do you know, actually, no, there's just no bother moving abroad. So, I think I'm entitled to be a little bit peeved about that.
To me, just the way I've been feeling the last couple of days, I thought it was fairly obvious this was how I would probably vote.
I suppose at least you can still shock me, I suppose that's one good thing.
A lot of people just think, oh, it's simple, just pack up and just move off somewhere nicer than where you live, but it's not that easy. There's a lot of things to take into account, so this is a kind of scenario I was hoping to avoid.
After all the years of hopes and dreams, James has astonished Naomi by making a complete U-turn. He'll be heading back to Scotland with a very disgruntled wife in tow. I certainly wouldn't want to be sitting in his seat on that flight home. Join us again next time to find out what happens when another British family has to decide whether they're wanted down under.
Hunting out Britain's empty homes and turning them into lovely places to live with a bit of work. That's next. And then later we're in the capital city of Roman Britain to make some cash in the attic, on the way at 11:30.